Oh, you're gonna get it. Ah, what? You can't chop heads off. 0 out of 10. Worst game ever. What are you doing?
Congratulations, I am Ninja.
That bastard stole my donuts. Oh. Maybe this game can teach me the skills I need to defeat that ninja and get my donuts back! This is Ninja. This game came out in 2003, which is around the time everyone thought ninjas were the coolest thing ever, or at least everyone that I knew. I remember my older brother once got a book that teaches you techniques that ninjas used to use, but that's enough about just how cool we thought ninjas were in the mid-2000s. Once you get to the title screen, you just see Ninja, and yes, that's his name, fighting an endless horde of the basic enemies. This game has nothing to hide. This is what you'll be doing here, so let's start the game! Oh, no space on the memory card. Goodbye, bloody roar, I'll probably never play you again anyway. Now let's start the game. Oh wait, I can't yet. I can't skip all these logos. I have to sit and watch Dolby emerge from the fire and the flames, see Namco get pelted with shurikens, watch Argonaut get cut in half, listen to a coyote howl into a cheap $12 microphone, and see the title of the game get hastily assembled, then fly away. And now it's finally time to play the game. In the opening cutscene, you see Ninja hopping across platforms to reach a cave where his master is being held prisoner. He kills the guards and cuts the chains, then a monster shows up, which he kills, then it barfs up a crystal, and when Ninja grabs it, he starts flying all over the place, swinging his sword around like an idiot, and kills his master who he was just trying to save, then blames it on the magic rock.
It wasn't my fault. What was that thing?
I didn't want to kill him, the crack made me do it.
That crystal is one of the 4 rage stones that grant new abilities that you use throughout the game, but you are given this stone before the game even starts. I don't feel like I earned this. That would be like if you started a new game on Ocarina of Time, and the first dungeon was completed in a cutscene, and you start the game with the first stone. Maybe I wanted to free my master then kill him after taking demon crack. So now you're on Robot Beach, the first area of the game, and Sensei's ghost appears to guide you and tells you about the evil Emperor Odor and his army of ranks. That's ranks with an X, by the way. Then it's off to the first mission, which is called Ninja, like in the title of the game, but they spelled it wrong. This mission serves as a tutorial, teaching you everything you can do, starting with the different attacks at your disposal. Then there's wall running, your swinging chain that also makes turns on these Sonic the Hedgehog-like tracks where you run really, really fast, and the ability to spin your sword like a helicopter so you can glide short distances, which I know from personal experience does not work and is also incredibly dangerous. I did a oopsie. The end goal of this mission is to take back the eye of the giant robot named Takayama that's lying on the beach. Once you get the eye, Ninja just kinda hugs it and rolls around with it, crushing himself more times than I can possibly count toward the end of the mission. With the mission complete, Takayama gets his eye back, and you get what is called a grade. The grades are the main collectibles that you need to complete the game, similar to the stars in Super Mario 64. And there's one at the end of each mission. The other 2 missions have the same end goal of getting Takayama's other eye and his heart back from the ranks, and with the 3 grades, you earn the yellow belt. As you earn the higher ranked belts, your maximum health goes up, and you can open the barriers of the same color to go back to missions you already completed for extra grades. With the yellow belt, you can fight the first boss, who is another giant robot named Kaiza, by taking control of Takayama in a giant robot boxing minigame that plays sorta like Punch-Out. When you win, you get another Rage Stone, and just like the first one, it makes Ninja act like he just took all of the drugs, while the guy you just freed tries to open the door to the next area. This is Bombay, a place where you find some fish hanging near the beach that you can cut the heads off of. This doesn't do anything, but it's still fun to do. There are 3 more missions here, which is just enough to get you the green belt. There's one where you have to sit in the defense turret and shoot the ranked ships, and if any of them reach the bay, you lose. And this is a good place to get plenty of kills to upgrade your sword, which is a mechanic that I loved when I was younger. There's a meter that fills with the blood of your enemies at the end of each mission, and once it's full, Ninja drops his sword into the abyss. Bye, sword! Then a new one drops into his hand, then Sensei gives a brief description of it.
This golden sword was forged in lead, but turned to gold by a mighty alchemist. It is heavy, but very powerful.
The new swords match the colors of the belts, and as you would expect, each one does more damage, allowing you to more easily slaughter the ranks. This next mission is a standard platforming action stage with simple puzzles, and this is where you are introduced to what is, in my opinion, one of the most fun parts of the game: air battles. Here you have to dodge the captain's attacks and rush in to hit him while you have the chance, but if you just try to wail on him, he'll block your attacks and counter you. You also have a heavy attack that's good for closing the distance between you and the captain, but it's a lot more effective to get in close and spam the light attacks. Be that as it may, I find it a lot more satisfying to finish him off with the heavy attack. Then he falls flat on his back and gets impaled on his own giant double sword, or whatever it is you call that thing. In the next one, you have to race against a lit fuse to reach the grade just before it gets blown up, and being under time constraints in this stage made me realize just how unnecessary the half-pipe thing is. You run up one side, then down, and up the other side, getting higher and higher with each run. But the same result can be achieved in less time with a simple wall jump, which is already a thing in the game. They did not need the half pipes at all, but they just put them in to be all like, "Yeah, look how fast you is, you're a ninja." So anyway, you're a green belt now, which means you can fight the second boss, which is a giant robot fish named Ventus. You have to pilot a submarine and just shoot him until he dies. But one thing that bugs me about this boss fight is that the camera controls in this game are inverted, and being a GameCube game from 2003, there's no option to change that, so I got used to the inverted controls for aiming, but here the controls are not inverted, which threw me off, causing me to miss a lot of shots and take unnecessary damage. With Ventus dead, yet another Rage Stone is given to you, and a fish lady is now free from her prison who keeps trying to hug Ninja while he rides around on a giant shuriken. Then the door to the next area opens. Now we have reached Jungle Falls, and this is where I noticed a pattern, where every time you reach a new area, Sensei offers some wisdom in the form of mashing two old sayings together, which seems to make Ninja mad.
A rolling stone wasn't built in a day. It's all crystal now. Yeah, there was me, thinking you were an idiot!
Then there's not really a lot to say about the missions in this area. You go upstream by jumping on logs, shoot some bugs, and you have a stealth mission where you have to sneak past all these sentinels, and no, you can't kill them. I tried. So all the missions in this area are done, but for the first time in the game, they weren't enough to get the next belt. So you're forced to go back to earlier missions for more grades, or you can go to one of the people that you freed and use the coins you've been collecting to buy challenges. Each character has 2 challenges for sale, and they range from rolling downhill collecting coins, racing against the clock, and a repeat of the first boss, except you die with 1 hit. If you choose to repeat one of the regular missions, you will either have to beat the clock, kill a certain number of enemies, or find 10 red coins hidden throughout the level, and some of these coins are in some of the hardest to reach areas, or in the most inconceivable hiding places. Once you get the blue belt, it's time to fight the third boss, which is a giant floating head named Sayamon. You fight him in a mech suit that just stands in one spot, functioning more like a turret. Here you just have to shoot the ghosts he sends after you, because the best way to deal with something that's already dead is to shoot it until it dies. Killing enough ghosts will charge your power shot, which is the only way to deal damage to Sayamon himself. Sayamon's dead, this guy with leaves for hair is free, then a bunch of ranks show up and Ninja slaughters them all with the power of the final Rage Stone in the game. Now you're in the mountain gorge where you have 3 more missions, One of them being another stealth mission, and there's this one guy you need to sneak past, and his patrol pattern seems to be completely random. You never know whether or not he goes the way you want him to, or if he's gonna come towards the spot you're standing in. Then there's one with the first real platforming challenge in the game. Then there's the Crystal Cavern, which is one of the most time-consuming levels in the game. You have to go through 3 different places in the cave, all of which lead to a spot where you shoot these things that hold a giant crystal up that has the grade inside of it, and you have to shoot all 3 targets to get it. You can't cheat by hitting 2 targets from the same perch. I tried. I also noticed that in certain places, the chain swing won't work if you just do a single jump. I don't know why I'm in range of the swingy thing, but it just won't work sometimes, unless I do it out of a double jump or a sword hover. But at least I didn't have too much trouble finding my way through these missions because I had all of the Rage Stone abilities.
I didn't tell you about the abilities yet. This is your fault. You didn't remind me to tell you about the abilities!
Like I said earlier, each Rage Stone gives you a new ability. The one you have from the beginning is the Berserker power, which makes you hit harder while Ninja expresses a desire to cause pain and suffering to anything that lives.
Need to kill stuff!
The second stone gives you the Revive ability, which does not revive you if you die, rather it restores a large amount of health. The third one lets you ride a giant shuriken that shreds anything you touch, and the final and most powerful ability is just called Invincible. As the name suggests, you are invincible while the power is active, and it also causes everything around you to explode. Now let's go back to the other areas to get more grades, and you have to talk to Sensei before going through any door in the game, which can be very annoying, but at least you can skip his dialogue, and every time you do, Ninja will abruptly shush him. But interrupting Sensei doesn't stop Ninja from bringing out his attitude as he walks through the door.
Stay here and try not to die again.
You're the one who murdered him!
Now for more grades that seem to give Ninja a severe case of constipation. Then he flies away to the nearest bathroom because it's now or never. Red belt! Yay! Now for the next boss, who is a wizard named Malachi. And judging from the first 3 bosses, you might guess that you fight him in some sort of vehicle. And I have 2 little words for you. You're wrong! The fight starts with you jumping from platform to platform over lava, dodging his magic attacks, trying to collect shurikens to throw at him. Then the lava drains, and you have to get up close and personal. It only took most of the game, but this is what I really wanted from a boss fight in this game. To learn attack patterns, get in close and stab him in the mouth. The first 3 bosses were fun, don't get me wrong, but come on, I have a sword and I want to use it! So you kill Malachi, and this lady is free, and she activates the warp crystal that sends you to the moon because that's where Odor has his base of operations set up. In the moon base, you have 2 missions taking you through the 2 defense outposts, which are the 2 longest, most challenging, and most fun missions. With those done, you can go straight to Odor's headquarters with 2 more missions that are, in my opinion, the 2 laziest, most poorly designed levels in the game. Each one is in a single tiny room, where in one of them you have to go down inside the room and hit buttons on a big ball, then go back up before you're killed by the rising blue death goo, then back down to hit more buttons while constantly having to listen to
Alert! All personnel should evacuate immediately.
Then the next one, you have to fight all these ladies that look suspiciously like Beautiful Joe, and once you've killed enough, the platforms start moving so you can climb up to the grade.
Oh no, you need more grades to become a black belt, then go fight Odor.
So more repeated missions later, you finally get to fight Odor, the big villain who everyone kept talking about through the entire game. The guy everyone said you should be afraid of. Ninja confronts Odor, who farts at the end of every sentence he says.
I have been expecting you.
The final battle begins, and he has the most predictable attack patterns I have ever seen. You just hit him until he runs away, then you chase him and hit him some more, then he explodes into green goo, leaving behind the life stone that can either grant immortality or be used to bring somebody back from the dead. Sensei then guilt trips Ninja into reviving him, then Odor's body reforms from the goo he was reduced to, then credits roll and... wait, Don Bluth? This game was written and directed by Don Bluth? Just to be clear, we are talking about the Don Bluth behind The Land Before Time and Dragon's Lair, and not the Don Bluth with an elephant trunk and rabbit ears that haunts my nightmares, right?
Oh, no, Don Bluth. I can't eat this, baby. I wanted it rare.
So the game is over, Odor's dead, and peace has returned to the world. But what about this big door on Robot Beach? I'm a black belt, but I still can't open it. It has this big grade icon on it, and apparently there's still this thing I can get, but that calls for 100% completion.
And that is exactly what I am going to do.
I did it. I got all the grades in the game. Sensei, who is still a ghost despite being revived, rewards me with what I can only describe as a super grade. Now I can open this door, and what we have inside is the battle arena where you fight wave after wave of enemies and... wait, what? I fell off the stage, which didn't actually kill me, but still made me have to restart the whole thing!
Fine, whatever. Ninjas are dumb. I don't need to be one to get my donuts back. All I need is this.
This will be easier without the mask.
Teach you to steal my donuts. Oh, what? You can't chop heads off. Okay, that was a little too soon. What are you doing?
You cannot see I am a ninja.
Wrong. Not sure how I messed that up.